And now we will be moving on to our next very important session.
Yes. Okay, so now we have come to our Q&A session.
Today we have invited our nutritionist, and he has 10 years worth of experience in giving nutritional advice. So if you have any questions in mind, you can submit them into the chat box and we'll pick a few to answer. Let's welcome C-Star. Let's welcome. Hi, everyone.
Okay, so now our tiny staff will pin our nutritionist so that we are able to spotlight him. So now let's put your questions, your concerns into the chat box so that you can write down the questions you have about spirulina or our general health in general. So if you type it into the chat box, then we will know what are your questions. So before we have questions, let's welcome our nutritionist. Okay, we can see our nutritionist now. So now we will want to say, we've seen that there's a question that asks, if you have skin sensitivity, can you eat spirulina? And if you eat spirulina, will your skin get itchy, or your skin will get itchy? So what is the help? How can it help?
Okay, for those with skin sensitivity, one of the reason why is because we don't have enough immune factors, and if we consuming ELKEN spirulina is our best solution because it has very strong immune factors. So if you have skin sensitivity, or if you have bad digestion, or any condition, we really recommend you ELKEN spirulina because it can help with inflammation as well. If we have control of the inflammation, we will decrease the risk of getting many diseases. But for some people, after consuming spirulina, their body has some reaction. Maybe they become really heaty or stuff like that. So if you have these kind of problems after consuming spirulina, you should drink more water, and eventually you'll get used to spirulina. So you don't really need to worry about that. Spirulina can help with inflammation. And even if you get some short-term reaction, like your body's kind of heaty or stuff like that, you don't need to worry much. Just drink lots of water and your body would eventually get used to it.
Okay, wow. I think this question really, this answer really answered a lot of people's questions. So because spirulina has world recognition and it has so many different types of nutrients, so it can really, really help regenerate some problems in our body. So I think it really answered this friend's questions. So let's see if we have a second question. Okay, so I've seen that another who said that if you use spirulina, can it help with astigmatism?
So if you have astigmatism, it might be also because of inflammation. besides eating ELKEN Spirulina, you should also eat it with other products like our fish oil or our gummy Vizio. And that would speed up the recovery process.
Oh, so we really want to thank our nutritionist answer. So I believe that there's a lot of people that are curious about eating spirulina. What is the recommended number of spirulina that we should eat? Because there's kids who eat it, adults who eat it, elderlies who eat it. So how much should each person eat?
So we recommend adults to take, adults who are 18 and above should consume 20 to 30 tablets of spirulina each day so that we can have the maximum amount of nutrition. So consuming 20 to 30 tablets of spirulina can help satisfy the nutrient intake that we need. Of course, you don't need to consume it all at once. You can split it into different times throughout the day. Maybe 10 in the day and 10 at night. It's up to you. But for kids or for those 18 and below, you can also consume ELKEN Spirulina. They can also consume ELKEN Spirulina to help with their nutrient intake. But for those people, for 18 and below, just eat around 10 to 15 tablets because their dietary intake, their nutrient intake might be not as high as adults. So definitely adults and children, their recommended consumption differs.
Wow, that's so cool. So they have been asking, so spirulina can increase our immune system. So if your immune system is too much, so can you still eat spirulina?
So ELKEN Spirulina is something that balances out your nutrients. So it doesn't matter if your body has too much immunity or it lacks nutrients. ELKEN Spirulina plays a really important role in balancing out your nutrients for you. If you have too active immunity, other than eating ELKEN Spirulina, you can also eat it with alpha hex to help tune your immune system. And as ELKEN Spirulina is a supplement that helps balance out your nutrients as well, it can help with all functions in your body. So in whatever circumstances, ELKEN Spirulina can help us in that.
Okay. So we would like to ask sisters because of the time. So we will choose some questions because we have heard about the
3 highs.
3 highs. So there's people who have chronic
Low
blood pressure. So how should they use this supplement? So what is your advice?
So for those who have the 3 highs, like
High blood pressure.
high blood pressure
Cholesterol.
or high cholesterol. So the main issue that causes these, so for those who have 3 highs, you don't need to worry that much about ELKEN Spirulina, because as I've said, ELKEN Spirulina helps to balance out your nutrients. So how do we maintain our body health through dietary intake? Well, that's a really broad question, because it's up to how what the person's diet is like. So, for example, if you have high cholesterol, maybe you should cut on high cholesterol foods. If you have high blood pressure, maybe prevent food that would cause that. So if you have 3 highs, besides having a strict diet, you should also replenish on some supplements like ELKEN Spirulina to replenish on some nutrients that your body needs to help fight off these 3 highs. Especially for people with 3 highs, because these type of people have a higher risk in having blood vessel explosion. So of course, like I've said just now, it will be even better if you can consume other ELKEN products along with spirulina to help boost up in your recovery process. And if you pay attention to your dietary intake and consume ELKEN's MRT products, the 3 high problems would eventually gradually die down.
Neutralize. Oh, C-stars. So we talked about the 3 highs. So what if you have low blood pressure?
So for low blood pressure, you actually need more nutrients to help balance out, to help replenish on the nutrients for your body health. So one example of why we have low blood pressure is because maybe our heart's function is weaker compared to other people. So that's why that individual's ability to absorb nutrients might be lower as compared to other people. And so actually everyone needs enough nutrients in their body, and you can't run away from these. So you need ELKEN Spirulina to help balance out, to have enough nutrients in your body. And the fastest way in recovering with these health conditions is through natural supplements like ELKEN Spirulina.
Wow, thank you for giving us such detailed answers. But I am sure that there's a lot of people who still have a lot of questions. So where C-Stars is unable to answer your questions. So it's okay. So our staff will be able to leave the C-Stars email into the chat box. So if you want him to answer your questions, so you can just put him in your email. So yeah, thank you, C-Stars.